Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from BBC News. It's out of their Asia section. It's published on September 6th. And this is something I have to give the BBC credit for actually reporting on. Because them and the legacy media here in the US, all of them, have been trying to portray the whole situation with Trump and Kim and the denuclearization of North Korea as nothing's going on. Kim is playing him. This is a joke. He's never going to get it done. And if you look here, North Korea's Kim Jong-un says faith in Trump unchanged. Gotta give him credit for reporting on this. And we're going to get into this article here. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's faith in Donald Trump remains unchanged, and he wants to denuclearize the Korean peninsula during the U.S. president's first term, officials in the South say. Now, one reason why they wouldn't want this out there is because they're trying to portray the whole situation, like I said, completely different than what it is. And if Trump could get Kim with a deal done to denuclearize the Korean peninsula, he's in for a second term, guaranteed. He's going to have other world leaders, either through fear or just seeing how he worked with Kim, want to work with him. And that's what they don't want people to realize, because they're trying to portray Trump as a bungling idiot. They're trying to portray him as someone who's basically being propped up, because if you noticed with the op-ed that happened with the New York Times, they're trying to basically portray it like he ain't doing shit, everyone else is doing the work, and we're saving the country from him. This counters that, because he's dealing with Kim directly. And Kim is saying these things about Trump. And the reason why this is happening, the reason why he has a good thing going with Xi Jinping, whoever his name is in China, I enunciation of Chinese names can be shitty for me sometimes. Xi Jinping, is because in Asian culture, being a cuck like Obama is seen as weakness. You have to be a strong individual. You have to be an alpha male. They respect that. Trump acts like an alpha male, so they respect that. He also, like with Kim, like, oh, I know you motherfuckers. He goes, you want to make this a dick swinging contest? My button's bigger, bitch. Oh no, he lied about that old fuck. And Kim tunes changed from there when he said that my button's bigger. Fuck you. And they try to play that like that's a bad thing. No, that's how you deal with people from certain parts of the world. You got to show that you're coming from a place of strength. You have to show that you're an alpha. Mr. Kim made his comments to envoys from Seoul, who were in the north, to arrange a new leaders summit later this month. Relations between the North and the U.S. have soured since the historic Trump-Kim summit in Singapore in June. That's bullshit. They have not soured. See, that's one of those bullshit narrative things that they're trying to portray. If they really had soured, then why would Kim say that he still has faith in Donald Trump and wants to denuclearize in his first term? And said specifically first term, looking at the fact that he's going to probably get a second one. Doesn't fit your narrative now, does it? Most observers warn the North has taken no meaningful steps to denuclearize. Bullshit. They took down, nuclear testing facility, a rocket launch site, which was actually not like a one that they really weren't using. It was an important one. And a bunch of other things have also happened. Nice try. The summit being planned, because I love this. Most observers warn But they don't tell you that they haven't done anything. They don't say, well, they actually did this. They don't want to report on those things because they're trying to push a narrative. I mean, I have to give them credit for what the title they're reporting, but then they go and they start pulling this bullshit. And they wonder why they're called fake news. I mean, this is ridiculous. It really is. The summit being planned will be the first time in more than a decade that a South Korean leader has visited the North Korean capital. The BBC's Laura Bicker in Seoul said it was hoped that President Moon Jae-in could act as an intermediary and rekindle the stalled talks between the United States and North Korea. They're not stalled. Wow. What gets me is Trump has managed to accomplish more when it comes to Korea than the last, what would it be? Than all previous presidents since Ike. Because, I mean, Ike was when we left Korea, if memory serves. I think it was during Ike's presidency. Eisenhower's, yes. I'm sorry, it's been a long day, but I believe it was Ike's presidency. So I could be wrong on that. But we're talking, since the 50s. Every president since the 1950s hasn't got dick done. Take everything they've done when it comes to Korea, combined. And Trump has accomplished more on a positive note. Unless you want to talk about accomplishing on a negative note, because the Clintons literally gave them the nuclear reactors that allow for them to enrich material. Bill Clinton gave them to North Korea. Oh, they're for nuclear power generation. It's just they were trying to play it like, oh yeah, they were just for power generation. That's a byproduct of their enriching fissionable material to weapons grade. That's a byproduct. Trump has accomplished a lot, yet you're trying to make it sound like he hasn't got shit and the talks have stalled. More has been accomplished. If there's a little time, a little breather, it's no big deal. He's accomplished a lot when it comes to Korea, so shut up. Quit trying to push this false narrative. It's ridiculous. The vague Singapore agreement said the two sides would work towards denuclearization, but did not include any timeline, details, or mechanisms to verify the process. I'm sure with how U.S. intelligence is, Kim can't fart without Trump knowing if he really wanted to know. There is still an enormous amount of work to do. There have been no nuclear tests or missile tests, but work on making the strategic shift continues, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said during a visit to India's capital in Delhi. Nothing's been accomplished, but yet there's been no nuclear or missile tests. Okay. Good one, BBC. Mr. Moon will visit the North from 18th to the 20th of September to discuss practical measures to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. Officials from South Korea said after meeting Mr. Kim in Pyongyang. At a press conference, the envoy said Mr. Kim had told them it was his firm will to do work with South Korea to achieve a lasting peace settlement. Well, yeah, he's scared shitless. You try to say that Trump hasn't accomplished anything. You have this pudgy little fuck who goes to bed with a full belly, shitting himself. A guy who thought that he was going to sit there living high off the hog. Sounds like he accomplished something to me when that's the case. But yeah, you try to fucking play it like nothing's getting done. Assholes. Chairman Kim expressed frustration over the doubt shown by some parts of the international society about his will. National Security Advisor Chung Yu-young said, North Korea has been preemptively carrying out measures needed for denuclearization, and Kim said he would appreciate that such good faith is accepted with good faith. Yeah, he's actually been doing some shit. Our spy satellites have been keeping an eye on things. We know that he's actually doing some stuff. Have a little faith. He's scared shitless. North Korean state media carried similar remarks from Mr. Kim. The North and South should further their efforts to realize the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. A state news agency KCNA quoted him saying, despite the strains since the Trump-Kim summit, high-level talks and visits have continued, and there have been some gestures from the North, like sending back the remains of some U.S. troops killed during the Korean War in the 1950s. Yeah, nothing's been accomplished. Yet, no other president managed to get those remains back. Huh. Nothing's been accomplished. Fuck you. Those bodies are finally going to be put to rest. Those American heroes. Those men who fought and died. They're now going to finally be put to rest properly. Thanks to President Trump. But yet he's doing nothing. But last month, a trip by U.S. Secretary of State was abruptly called off at the last minute, with Mr. Trump citing a lack of progress as the reason. Yeah, that's called leverage. It's called business tactics. He's a businessman. He's playing the game. Scare Kim a little bit with that. He falls into line. He gives up a little bit more. Both sides have blamed each other for the faltering negotiations, while Mr. Trump has also blamed China. Well, yeah, because China needs to put a little more pressure. See, they don't give you the accurate thing. See, China is enabling North Korea. No matter how much they put sanctions on them. They, like the U.S., like we do at the U.S. or the rest of the West, or the UN, or anything like that. He's still getting his stuff from China. You got to take China out of the equation for that type of stuff to work. Because if China's willing to trade with him, if China's willing to take their money and give them, in exchange for goods and services, he still has an outlet. But let's leave that out. I mean, come on now. You leave that type of stuff out because you don't want to explain the whole situation. And you kind of did that with the whole thing of why he called off the last minute thing with Pompeo going over. Talks between North and South Korea, however, have continued ever since the first Kim Moon meeting in April. Well, yes. See, this is what's fucked up. See, the BBC, I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised they actually reported what Kim was saying, because even though they're using it as an opportunity to do the shit that they're doing here, there's been a lot of stuff that's been accomplished in regards to Kim and North Korea. But yet they're trying to play it like, oh, well, it's no big deal. It's not really shit that's, proof of anything. It's not much. And they're spurging out because things aren't going quickly enough when nothing has happened since the 1950s in regards to North Korea. You didn't bitch that nothing got done with any of the other presidents since Ike. You didn't say a fucking word. But now, all of a sudden, things aren't moving fast enough for you. Huh. That's some fucked up shit. Really is. Some twisted shit. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. I mean, this is some fucking seriously ridiculous shit. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.